And we are live. Hi, hi, hello. You are on the Sisters United Hangout. We are live. I am Valerie Jampolsky, and we have got Sheena here as well. And we are going to be talking today about the power of events, live events and networking. And I'm just going to quickly introduce myself. Sheena will introduce herself, and then we're going to get into it. Sorry for the delay, a little bit of technical difficulties today. I am Valerie Jampolsky. I am here in Los Angeles, and I am the Abundance Mom Freedompreneur from Abundance Now, and I'm a single mom of twin 5-year-old boys, and give my naked kid alert, but I think they're pretty much settled over in another room over to the side here. And I'm just feel so blessed because I can do what I do. I used to be an entertainment attorney. I made a very powerful decision when I was pregnant with the twins, sitting there surrounded by all my books and everything, realizing not only did I want to make sure that I was at home with my kids and my kids weren't raised by nannies, much less daycare. As an attorney, I'd be lucky if I'd be able to tuck them in at night. But really to be able to make a difference. More than anything, I had this realization that there was so much more to me, so much more value to me, to be able to make a difference, to be able to do this, to have hangouts like this, talk about a lot of the things that we do here, and really help people to really see their own value, to see and live the incredible beauty that they are, and live the lives that they want to live. And that's what I'm so grateful that I have that. I have this. In full transparency, I've actually been up all night because I went last night. I took the kids to Disneyland on a Wednesday because I could, and I got all excited. We were there, and I actually ended up doing a little Periscope broadcast from there and stuff. It was really a lot of fun. And but sometimes this is what happens with me. I'm all wired. I get home, and then I'm all wired, and I don't go to sleep. So it's 8 o'clock in the morning for me here, and I'm going to pass it on over to Sheena.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Sisters United Hangout. Sorry we're a little bit late. Always, we have a little bit of technical difficulties, but we make it work. I'm from Toronto, Canada. It's nice and sunny out, but it hasn't been as warm as the normal summers in Toronto, so hopefully it does get warmer. But it's 11:20 here a.m., and I'm just grateful that I'm at home. I don't have to sit through traffic because right now we have the Pan Am Games, and it's crazy out there with the driving, and they have like a special lane just for the people in the Pan Am, so everyone's complaining about how bad the traffic is. So I'm just grateful for little things like that, just the simple things like not having to go through traffic, being at home, working in my pajamas, and life is great.
Love it. I love it. And the same thing I was just thinking too, Sheena. It's like, for me, I can take a nap if I want. I could go on a Wednesday and just say, you know what, I'm going to stay here as late till the park closes. I mean, it was crazy because we were there, and it was weird and unexpected on a Wednesday. There were so many people there. But, afterwards, after we stayed till Fantasmic, and I actually did a live Periscope from Fantasmic. It was really kind of fun. And, everybody just kind of left the park. And oftentimes at that point, you can get a whole bunch of rides really fast. And so I did that and hung out, and the boys had taken a big, huge nap. So they were up and awake. And now, they're passed out, and I'm just, I can just relax, and I don't have to be anywhere. It's just so cool that we can, that I have this freedom to do this. So anyways, our topic for today is the power of live events and networking, and why that's so important. I mean, I met Sheena. The first time I met Sheena was at, in person, was at a live event, and we wouldn't even be having these hangouts if it wasn't for live events. I met, as you all know, Sarita, and Sarita and I connected at a live event, and we became really, really close, and we started doing another hangout, the Mom Freedompreneurs Hangout, which then led to this hangout, the Sisters United Hangout, and a lot of other things. And that, just as an example, that you wouldn't even be here watching us if it wasn't for me going to a live event and Sarita going to a live event. And I think you got a similar story in terms of your connection with Sarita.
Yeah, I met Sarita at a live event. Actually, the first time we met, we were roommates. So, and ever since then, we've been roommates for the past couple events. This event coming up in Las Vegas in about 2 weeks, we're still going to be roommates. these are the kind of relationships you can make with people at events, right? You can lock arms with people, mastermind, and learn from 6 and 7 figure earners on, how to build a business the right way, especially if you don't like being out and about, being online. You can take your computer anywhere. I mean, we can be in Vegas and still build a business and enjoy, our time with all our friends, our family back, whoever's going to Vegas in the next 2 weeks. And maybe you're watching this and you want to come hang out with us, just come back to me or Val and ask how you can join. So
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, I mean, just other things. I mean, crazy things have happened, and I don't know what it is, but maybe it's because there's something about the energy. We get together a few months. It's not like I know in some businesses you're constantly running to like some event. Every week there's some live event. We don't do that. We have our freedom. We get together every few months basically. But when we do, there's something about the energy of being in the energy in the room with a whole bunch of people all at the same time going through a process together. Especially when it's kind of events that we go to where there's literal transformational things that can happen in the room. There's that, and then there's, I mean, just the powerful things that happen, in like I overhearing a conversation. I heard it's one of the most powerful things I ever heard. Just a marketing tip that I heard: overhearing a conversation of a 6 and 7 figure successful earners having talking to each other. That it was just like a little 5-minute conversation that I just happened to be standing right next to hearing, early on. That was just very powerful for me. And I mean, my very first 3,500 plus day happened while I was at an event. And Gabrielle, who's often on here, her first 3,000 day happened like the day she physically actually got there. It was the day before the actual event started, but it was there. And then her second one happened in the airplane going home, right? Sarita, I think her first $3,000 day happened at an event. There's something about it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's our mindset goes into a different place. Our energy, if you want to talk about energy, that goes out into the universe, because we have all our stuff. We have our automated systems working and everything. But there's something transformational that happens to us. I just keep seeing it with so many people that it literally, I think, transforms. It has an effect on everything that's going on, everything, all the bits and pieces of what we're working on. If you want to look at it from an esoteric level, I just know I see it, and to me that makes sense. I don't know. What do you think about that, Sheena?
For me, one of the things you need to do in your business is showing up, right? And an event is one of them. It's one of our core commitments. Just show up in an event, right? It's kind of like going to school. You're going to show up until you pass your course or until you get to the finish line. And some people don't realize that because they have all these excuses. And instead of making all those excuses, why not think of how can I get there, right? I mean, I've heard crazy stories of this one lady. She drove 30 hours each way just to get to an event, and then there's people who were in the vicinity who wouldn't even come to an event because they don't see the value in it. I mean, just locking arms with 6 and 7 figure earners, having them get to know you, and then in the future start wanting to work with you on something. I mean, that's something you'll never get if you don't attend a live event, right? I mean, you wouldn't be able to be friends with them. These are people who I used to look up to, and I said, oh my God, how can I be able to talk to them or be friends with them or build a relationship? And the only way to do that is going to a live event. We go out for parties, we mastermind, we pump each other up. It's not just it's not like a regular event, because I've been to other events and some of them they just like to sell. This one is they just want you to believe in yourself, and that's the number one thing, because a lot of people don't believe in themselves. And I used to be like that too. I mean, I would think, what's wrong with me? Why aren't I getting the results that I'm getting? Or you start comparing yourself to others, and when you go to an event, nobody cares where you are, where you've been. As long as you're still in the course, it's fine, right? I mean, so many people out there like to find the fast results, and nothing's wrong with that. We love that, but sometimes it might take some time because everyone's different. I mean, I saw this picture last week, and I think I mentioned it last week as well, but it was the creator of Angry Birds, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, they're now like a $2 billion game now, or that's how much they're worth, but nobody knows what it took for them to get to there, right? I mean, they had to try 50 different things. They were almost, through going through bankruptcy, and they said, you know what, I'm just going to try one more. And because they tried one more time, look where it's gone now. So you might not have, I'm not going to say fail, but you might not have the result that you want. It might take 100 times, 1,000 times, a million times to find the right one. But when you find that right one, it can make an impact. I mean, look at Thomas Edison. I mean, 10,000 ways for a light bulb not to work. But look at the impact it's had now in our world, right? It's everywhere. And this is why you need to go to events, because you got to keep going, because there could be that one thing that you need to hear, and that will take your business to the next level, right? Maybe there's someone on stage who's going to say something that will resonate with you, and have that aha moment, and you're like, I can do this. I know I can do this. If that person can do it, I can do it. Let's go. I mean, just the mix of people that you see in events. We have stay-at-home moms. We have baby boomers, students, travelers. Even people who can't even get out of bed. They're all succeeding, and everyone's results are different for sure. But if these people can do it, what makes you different from them? The only difference is they took action while you didn't. And it's so funny, Val, because I was reading this article on Forbes, and they were talking about how network marketing might be the best way for baby boomers to make an income or to retire on. And just because of the benefits of it, right? I mean, there's some baby boomers are like the biggest market right now, and a lot of them aren't getting the retirement money that they have with like the crash, like the income crashes and the recession and stuff. So you got to find a different way, and applying to low paying jobs is not going to help it. You need to find a way where you can have money work for you versus you working for money. And that's why we go to events, because it teaches us how to build a business and have a life at the same time, right? So maybe you're a baby boomer watching this, go to Forbes and read that article, because they're saying now that baby boomers are looking for network marketing companies to build their income, right? They're looking for a better way. And it's not just baby boomers. They're just saying for that one article, baby boomers are now looking for, but there's so many people out there, if they had all the money in the world, they would do something differently, right? You don't want your life to be controlled by money. You want to be able to control your own life, and this is what we encourage you, right? How many times have you said before, I can't go away because I don't have money. I can't go here because I don't have money. I can't eat here because I don't have money, right? You got to change that, right? Start saying, I do have the money for these things, and the universe or God, whoever you believe in, will start finding ways for you to get that money, right? And it's just, that's why you need to go to events. Surround yourself with the people, have the belief, start having these positive thoughts in your head so you can prove to your mind that you can do whatever you can. And it's the best thing ever. I would never, I haven't missed an event since, and it just gets better and better, and I just come out a better person out of it. So sorry about that. Kind of went on a little bit.
Well, I'm just curious. Can you see on the page if we've got any folks that are commenting on the page that want to bring in any thoughts, anything else? Because I know there were some people that really wanted to get on. They had some tech issues, couldn't get on with this, and some other people. There's just a lot watching. So do you see anything live comments? Anybody? Because we'll be going in, and also if you're watching this in the replay, please feel free to.
We got Pamela. She's excited for Vegas. There are some ladies who wasn't able to go on, but they are watching. We got Mary. Who's saying baby boomers need to have another way to supplement their retirement.
Yep.
So I mean, if this is just one example of why you need residual income and why events are so powerful. And she also said, she'll be going to Vegas, and one of the reasons is to connect with real people, because sometimes sometimes you're on the computer for a long time and you feel like you're not connecting with other people. This is why we have events, so we can see each other face to face. It's more than just a Facebook profile picture.
Give each other a big hug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and there's something, I'm going to go into the esoteric in this, because I also know there's a lot of people that are very much into that whole thing, that whole community of it. There's something, I mean, have you ever been in the energy of someone that has a negative vibration, somebody that's really down? That can bring a cloud down energy. But also the same thing, when you're around someone that is just full of life and full of belief and full of that powerful place, right? That can have the same. It can be the light in the room. Now imagine you're in a room with like 1,000 people all in that space. It's just like it multiplies. There's something about it that when you're in the physical proximity of people that are in that space and you're around all these, not just, 6 and 7 figure earners, but people that are really powerful in that way of that absolute belief in themselves and really making a difference and coming from that, living from their heart, like really doing it and having found a way to live that life and be in that space. It can have a visceral experience. It can literally, there's a vibrational thing that happens and it just multiplies. Being in that, there's just something very powerfully visceral about it that can help someone to have that shift. And also there's something about having anchoring experiences. And when you can have something powerful like that, be an anchoring experience where maybe you go through a process in the room with like 1,000 people, because often they take us through processes, right? And where you feel simultaneously people going through a massive shift in the moment. Tears running down the faces of a lot of people, just people having massive, powerful, positive shifts. It amplifies it. I don't know how else to explain it. It really does. And for those of us that understand the concept, with the vibration and all of that and what that does, when you're in that space, right, you also start to attract, which is why I've started to think about it. You attract more abundance to you. You just do. And that abundance can come in, not just in, yes, so many people, I got a $3,500 sale, this got a $3,000 sale, this happened, that happened, like crazy financial things happen for people while they're at the events or, right after the event. But more than any, of course, can't guarantee anything, income disclaimer, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is that it does happen, but something else happens as well. And that is that when you have that powerful shift, something happens inside, because part of what you're attracting is your ability to open up to inspiration, self-inspiration. Because a lot of times, I've talked about this, we have our negative thoughts in our mind that we've maybe gotten into habits of, a groove of a habit. And a groove of a habit can be, a negative thought can be, well, yes, that works for other people, but is it going to work for me? I don't know if I can make it work, right? And that's actually a negative thought pattern that can become a habitual groove that literally digs a shallow grave that buries our dreams, right? And when we can somehow do, it's like a massive pattern interrupt, really, to be at an event, a massive pattern interrupt that can kind of shake that into another way of looking at things, another way out of that into just viscerally feeling it, which can then allow yourself to open up to your own inspiration. And when you allow yourself to open up to your inspiration, that's when all those ideas, and they start to come in and go, oh, I could do this and I could do that. And then see, I can starts to happen. There's something powerful about that. And it can happen in the big room. It can happen afterwards. It can happen in just bumping into someone. It can happen in so many moments at any time. And especially if you make the intention for it to happen, it happens even more. I mean, I do this. I'll play a little game. I'll walk into a room and it's like, okay, I'm going to have a powerful experience where either I'm going to inspire someone else or someone else is going to inspire me. It's just going to happen, and things will happen. Crazy things will happen. I don't know if you've ever had or experienced any of that, or known anybody else that ever experienced any of that, Sheena, at any of the events.
Yeah, I mean, every time I go to an event, it's just, you have this like different energy and different outlook on life. Just seeing what's possible and hearing everyone's stories, especially, when they came from nothing or worse than nothing, and they were just able to bring themselves up to just get everything done and, have the success they have now, right? I mean, I hear so many people make all these excuses, and, instead of making excuses, why not find a way to just solve the problem, right? Why not find a way? And, people aren't willing to invest in themselves. They just feel like they're not worthy. And, if you're watching this, you are worthy, right? You can start making the money that you want. You can start building the business that you desire and live the life that you're supposed to have, right? Maybe you want to stay at home with your kids like what Valerie does, or being able to be at home on a Thursday and not have to worry about traffic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're watching this, just imagine that. Just see it in your head, because most people, they have this notion of, I gotta see it to believe it, versus I already believe it before I see, like, I already, instead of believing it before, you know what I mean? Sorry, but you know, true entrepreneurs, they already believe it before they see anything, right? Like when Oprah just started out as nobody, she already saw herself as a billionaire, right? She never questioned anything. I'm sure she had bad days like we all do, but we all keep going, right? We see we see ahead then instead of, you know, facing the things that happened in the past, because you know what, the past is the past. It's done. You can't change it. Just move on. Keep going. Keep moving forward. Keep looking in the future, and just connect with yourselves with like-minded people who can get you there, right? If you don't have the belief in yourself, then that's why you got to go to events. That's why you got to lock arms with people so they can lift you up until you can start believing in yourself. Because when I first started, I had no belief in myself. You know, I used to think that who's gonna listen to me? Who would want to join me? Who's gonna listen to what I have to say when I do a blog, right? I had all those things in my head, like any other person, but I did it. I just kept going, and now it's like, you know, oh, people do want to listen to me, right? People do want to lock arms with me. People do want to join what we have, freedom. And you know, there's people out there looking, and we just got to be the messenger and tell them, hey, there is a way. People are succeeding. It's your turn, right? And I'm sure you're watching this thinking, you're right, it's my turn. I just gotta, you know, click that button and just get started today, because, you know, tomorrow could, what if you're not here tomorrow, right? I mean, today could be your last day and you don't even know. You gotta live every single day like it's the last day of your life, because you know, the only guarantee is, you know, you have you to decide if you want the life you want to live or just keep making excuses. So, I mean, if you're watching this and you're not, you know, you've never been to an event, go to an event. I mean, you can still come to our event. You got 2 weeks. I know people who joined like the night before, got a ticket, and just went because they see the value. They see what it's going to do for them. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, when I first started, just, you know, a little bit about my story. I was at the time I was on welfare, and I knew I wanted to get the event, and it was coming up in, it was like the same thing, about 2 weeks, week to 2 weeks, so coming up really, really fast. And I actually used an exercise we have inside our system, and I actually manifested the resources to get there out of thin air, honestly. And I needed 4 airline tickets because I had twins. Well, I had my twins, but my twins were just about to turn 3 at the time, and I was still breastfeeding. And there was no way I was going to leave them alone. My family was in another country. I didn't have the money to pay somebody to watch them, and I didn't want anybody to watch them. I wanted my kids with me. So I needed 4 airline tickets. I need for me, my twins, and somebody I didn't even know randomly that was going to even make it to come to the event with me. I needed the hotel covered. I needed the food covered. I needed everything. And I actually used an exercise in our system that we have, and I manifested. I actually did it within 1 day. I did it within 1 day. I manifested the resources out of thin air that I needed to get the airline tickets, to get the hotel covered, to have the transportation to and from. I mean, everything handled. I mean, it was and you know, anybody who wants to know, you want to find out what that is, you know, connect with me or Sheena, and we can let you know what you know, what exercise it is and guide you to it. You know, so we can get started, so we can get you in there. But you know, and it's so there's always a way. There's always a way. So. And especially this one, just to come back with Vegas, I think that makes it easier because flights to Vegas tend to be easier to get. Vegas makes it easy, but yeah. So it's just it was a powerful thing, and I had a massive experience when I went there. So for that trip, that was it was a very powerful thing for me to go, and I was able to have my kids with me. I didn't even have to, like, you know. I found a way to do it. So, but anyways, do we have any other more comments that you can see in the feed there?
I think that's it for now. Yeah, nothing right now. There could be some glitch that I'm not sure of, but
it's okay.
But I mean, whoever's watching this, if you're watching this thinking, is this going to work for me? You know, the only way for it to work is you just got to make it work, right? Can I go to an event? Yes, you can. You can find a way. If Valerie was able to manifest 4 tickets in a day to get to her first event, why can't you do it? You're no different from her, right? I mean, I did the same thing unconsciously when my first event, you know, was from a previous network marketing company. I just said, you know, how am I going to get there? And for some reason, I was able to manifest a free ticket to the event, a a free hotel, and a free plane ticket, right? I never said I can't go. I just said, how can I make it work? What do I need to do, right? Maybe sometimes you got to list 50 things down and figure out which one will
Yeah.
work best for you. But you know, I never said I can't go. I'm not going to go. You know, I just said, how am I going to do this? What are the ways, you know, can I do to make this happen, right? And things will start to appear because when you start believing that you can do this, you're going to find ways to do it. Maybe you're going to find the cheapest flight. Maybe you're going to find someone to room with. Maybe you're going to find someone who has a ticket that's like half the price. You're going to find the way when you start believing in yourself, right? And this is why events are so powerful, right? Because they give you that belief inside of you, right? They get to your soul and they say, you know what, you can do this. This is for you. You know, we're here for you, and there's nothing else, you know, that will stand in your way. The only way it can do that is if you let it, right? If you let it. You always say you're your own worst enemy, and it's true, right? I mean, especially, I don't know, as a woman, you know, we have all these crazy things that we think of in our heads. It's like, well, what if this and that and this and that? We become so analytical that we just forget, just take action. Sometimes we might have to let go of the results that we get, celebrate every success, and, you know, just think positive. Think positive all the time, and you will reap the rewards, right? You will reap the rewards. Like, I mean, look at the author of Harry Potter. She got rejected like maybe over 50 times for her book. And look at Harry Potter now. I mean, the movie is like a multi-billion franchise. They have a park named after them, and it's so crazy because my sister just came back from Florida because they went to the Harry Potter land, and she's telling me how there's a family of 4 who bought a robe, a wand, and a tie for each of them, right? That equals to $500 or over $500 just for those things, right? All because of this one lady who just decided to write a book, never, you know, quit. She just kept going and said, I'm just going to try it one more time, one more time, one more time, and look where it is now, right? What if this is the event that you need to go to and be like, I need to see this. I want to see it for myself. I need that belief in myself. And this is the one thing that I need to just propel, right? What if this could be the event in Vegas, right? You get to meet me, you get to meet Valerie, you get to meet so many other women, so many other, you know, like-minded, confident women. And sometimes you just need to surround yourself with confident women, right? Because as women, sometimes we feel like we're not worthy, right? We've all been there. This is why you got to go to events. So you can lift yourself up, bring that belief back up, and just keep going. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And if you're here, you're watching this, that means there's something very special about you. That means that means that you know that there's something very powerful for you in your life. Just saying. So, anything else? Because when I keep it short and sweet today. Any other thoughts to share?
You know, my only thing is just get to the event. Just say, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna buy my ticket. You know, I'm gonna lock arms with Valerie or Sheena, and we're gonna make this work. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's it. Period.
Or anyone else that invited you, whoever invited you to this as well. You know, whoever invited you to this hangout. You know, when you click below, you'll be connected to whoever it was that invited you as well. Sort of how the way our hangout works. So, so yeah, you'll be able to meet all of us. We'll be there. I think Sarita's going to be there. A whole bunch of us are going to be there. So I'm excited. I look forward to seeing all of you in Vegas and to seeing you on the inside. And anybody that wants to find out about that exercise, message me or Sheena or whoever else invited you, and they can get the information from me as to what it was that I used. If you're interested and you want to use it, because I'm telling you, it's powerful. And we shall see you in person. Look forward to giving you guys all big hugs. Yay. So, see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.